Hey everybody. I'm Joy. I'm Venezuela. So we're gonna do a few poems for y'all. Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. The stage is very multi-dimensional. Shake it! Multi-layered. Yes. Well, thank you so much for the light. I was like, I can see, but I come through blood and feverish panting, uncertain moans and gravestone wails, Scorpio orgasms and sacrifice, stories of escape and of black girls making it. I come through my great-grandmother's hustle, the only woman I knew who made crochet bedspreads and guava jam into food, clothes, and shelter. She knew magic existed in rosary beads, a talisman she used as she saw fit, a conjure woman with a Bible and Florida water, prayed and cussed every day. I come through my mother's tears and through her victory, through her thighs and vulnerability. My mother said she made love the morning I was born. I come through, and all of these things are the same. We are never just one thing. I am timeless. I come, and every time I do, I thank God. Yes, God. Vintage black, Congo black and Petro, Dantor, Pollock and Paulo. Yes, sir, I am a throwback. Scared Negroes fall back. I'm from that old stock. Angry bones and steel mills, hungry children, skipping meals. I am the truth. Young, black, and uncouth, the kind they try to pin and coop with bars and label like ratchet, skin tattooed and scratched it. I feed the dead in practice, staying alive in boot camp just to survive this Holocaust and genocide. 3 pennies and a razor blade by my side. Chill, son, you don't want none. Ring shouting, judgment coming, rain blasting it in my dreams at a young age. Color preteen, I was made to jump the clouds. My mama heard thunder loud. The throne king and the crown. I don't watch the crowds. Decipher, ciphers, you with the eyes, figure it out. Yeah. My girl said, stretch marks is one of my favorite words. Yeah. And she's right, like if there was a hierarchy, it would go 1, 2, 3, pussy, queer, stretch mark. And she has Arab calligraphy on her hips, rolling the feces delicately. I seek meaning through osmosis, lips and fingertips, searching incessantly for the reason behind beauty. And I have lightning storms and cloud break rays shooting up my abdomen, and I've been told they look like gashes. I was ashamed of my belly, but she kissed them, and I remembered my mother and how petite she is, and even still, stretch marks covered her belly in deep woven speeches about love and children, abandonment and passion, broken hearts and motherhood, and how she would wear her tiny gray top and her little short shorts and water the flowers she planted in the projects anyway, even though they were the only flowers planted in the projects anyway, and how a few weeks ago when the sun started shining and folks turned up, she pulled at my blue sports bra with my belly out and the stretch marks peeking out over the high-waisted pants that I thought were cute. And how she wanted to be ashamed for me. And so I said to her, I'm practicing radical self-love, Mom. And she said, what's not to love? Yeah. Call me Eve. I'll split a pomegranate with you. Share worlds unknown, only selfish gods would hide, insecure about their place in the sky. I really want to know you. Beyond dusk, before dawn, close and quiet, loud if you like. I'll have you oceans wide and bottoms of seas deep, as vast as you are, an endless horizon, a new constellation, 1,000 times reincarnation, a song of Solomon, chanted by his most devoted lover. I will write you new gospels, a universe of possibilities. Salvation living on the tips of my fingers, this body is holy. My name, a hymn, call me. My walk, a prayer, watch me.
liberation in my embrace. Come, I will hold you. I can.
So tonight I have a word that has cut its teeth on the grit of self-hate and raspy constant warning. I have a word that just stated in the smallest cracks of a world that has dismembered us and told us we could never have existed. This is for the oddest moments when you chose to put the religion of self-murder down, leapt into the chasm to choose yourself instead, when the tears were not enough, so a scream condensed in the back of your throat and threatened to bulldoze millennia of lies, and you let it. This is for ferocity, that intersection of glam and vicious water-turned razor that you have used to glean for yourself a space in which you do exist, because you do exist.
Yes.
Swallowing poison like Socrates for refusing to become a specter that grasped at the margins of a rebuking society, and you live, not as a thing unseen, but as the evidence like a stone you have rolled back from your own grave more than once. A scientist of the sacred, and yes, I bear witness to the cherry blossoms that rain every spring and groves of fat mangoes and the candles that are lit against the new moon, to suffocating lava and screaming banshees, to hysteria riding a full moon and the cliff of your voice dropping deep into shadows to still tell you how much you are not. Film. I watch you scare the world with your abundance, and I see the tenacity of your feet against the shifting and unwilling atlas. So we must celebrate like Clifton every day.
I need to get on solid ground for this one. Thank you. This is about defying the law, telling the truth of your origin, mapping the specific constellation of ancestors that gathered to applaud when you were born. Look up tonight. For refusing the erasure of your existence with permanent marker, paint, fine pointing pens, and a mouth that handles language like fire. Because you are on purpose. This is about the day you decided to change your name, echoing the harmonious sound of God's laughter after a new moon had passed, calling out prayers over the expanse of river and sorrow. Weeping into her bosom that the devil had been the only one to love you, while the righteous stood by, silent and idle, politely looking on with contempt, because your suffering had been too much. Wondering why you chose to love him back, and reminding them of the freedom they traded for frivolous luxury. This is about you, dear friend, unafraid of death, digging yourself out of a corpse's bed with your own two hands to gasp, to grasp for space to breathe when hopelessness tried to bury you alive. For all the nights you cried, after the days you walked miles and miles, heavy with despair and rage, underfunded and under siege, having faced the disgust of people who did not think your children deserved to eat. Because, after all, they were just too poor and too black and too much like wild and magic. And you were not in the business of taming them to comply with the good intentions of whiteness. This is about defying the law, immoral as it were, that a black woman's strength is in how mule-like she can be, resting weight after weight upon her back before she finally says it might break, picking the lock of the martyr's gilded cage with the tail of a fine-toothed combman, declaring victory, casting a spell with breath, word, and blood that you will stand among the lovers, unafraid of your wounds, as they are filled with the radiant light of the sun. Dare to speak your name as a unique expression of the infinitely creative mind of God. Exalt the stretch of your limbs as the full landscape of the universe. I call your name, messenger, blessed child of Kemet, ever faithful lover, truth teller, daughter of Oshun and Komogira.
that to